All right, good afternoon, guys. We're going to do a quick price action review for today, Wednesday, November 15th. I'm going to try to get through this one a little quick because I got somewhere to be. But economic calendar, we had a high impact news driver at 7:30 today and a medium impact at 9:30. So let's dive into it. Starting with the daily chart, ES on the right, or the left, sorry, on the left. We had this small little fair value gap that I was watching. I wanted to see, do we treat that as resistance and break lower? Do we treat it as support and work our way higher towards this buy side? This is the draw I have longer term. And then this last up close candle prior to this down move is your bearish order block. So we'll look at these levels and how the lower time frames we're respecting and using these levels as support and resistance. Dollar on the right, breaker, worked into that, broke lower. This is a balanced price range. Preferably, I want to see this act as resistance. So this candle here is a single pass up, work around, and we have a single pass down. So the part that intersects, okay, is your balanced price range. This middle line, consequent encroachment. If we get above this balanced price range on the dollar and treat it as support, then I may be bullish depending on how the S&P is looking. But preferably, I would like to see us treat this region as resistance and head towards this sell side here. Okay, zoomed out a little bit on the S&P so we can see this fair value gap here on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, that's that order block and that small fair value gap outlined on the daily chart. And inside of that order block, okay, inside of this order block here is a fair value gap, okay, on the 4-hour, and that's the buy side as well. Dollar index, that's the breaker from the daily time frame, drop down into that lower fair value gap, and now we're hanging around in that balanced price range. Preferably, I would want to see this act as support, but we do have this large imbalance, so it's not unreasonable for price to draw up and reprice to some of this, but preferably for lower prices, at least until we get to the sell side. I prefer to see this act as resistance. Okay, hourly chart for both. S&P on the left, really kind of a choppy session, but it'll clear up a little bit as we head to the 1-minute chart. This was CPI. Okay, target was hit, that daily fair value gap, and that's that 4-hour fair value gap. Hit it there, failed to reach consequent encroachment, broke lower. Okay, we didn't get to that buy side, and we're kind of just hanging around in this area. Really messy, really choppy. So kind of taking this analysis with a grain of salt until we're a little bit more clear on where we really want to go. Dollar index, same thing. We're kind of stuck in between these two regions. We have this large inefficiency here that may get repriced too, but not the cleanest price action. Sell side there from the daily chart, and that's as low as we're going to go for the dollar. Let's head into the S&P. We're in regular trading hours now, so we can see the opening range gap, yesterday's close. Okay, this is Tuesday's close, and this is today, Wednesday's open. Okay, at the 8:30 open, and we have the entire morning session here. Okay, so we open up higher than where we closed yesterday. We open, rally up, trade down into that daily fair value gap that I was monitoring to see if we treat it as support. Okay, that's this fair value gap here. All right, so keep that in mind. We open, trade it down to the tick perfection, that halfway point of that fair value gap. We rallied, traded up into that 4-hour fair value gap in here. Okay, we traded up into that fair value gap on the 5-minute chart, rallied up once more. Boom, boom, boom. We're working into the low end of that fair value gap. We break lower. This is a breaker, so this high, low, higher high, and we break down. This entire down close candle here is your breaker, okay? And we'll see this on the lower time frame on the 1-minute chart. We break down, trade back into that daily fair value gap. It's used as support, rally up, 5-minute fair value gap, break down once more. All right, so on the 1 minute chart here, so I had the opening range gap levels annotated here. This is where we closed yesterday, the low end of that opening range gap low, ORG. This is where we opened today, the opening range gap high. Okay, so in between these two price points is our opening range gap. We open, rally up, trade down perfectly into the halfway point of that daily fair value gap. We rally up. Now, once we rally up, this becomes a bullish breaker on the 1 minute time frame. So we have a low, high, lower low, rally up. The last up close candle in between these two lows here is your bearish breaker, or sorry, bullish breaker. Okay, you can see us working the high end of that. You can see the bodies respecting the high end of that. Okay, smart money is accumulating longs. Who's texting me? Smart money is accumulating longs at the high end of this breaker. Rally up, we take out buy side here. Okay, trade into the low end of that fair value gap on a 4-hour time frame. Break down, small little buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency there. Trade into it there, completely repricing to it. Rally up. 2 consecutive down close candles is your bullish order block coupled with this fair value gap. Okay, that's a great buy. You take it up. Buy side there. Okay, you stall, consolidate a little bit, break lower. This is a bearish breaker on your 1 minute time frame. Okay, so look close. You have a high, low, higher high. These 4 consecutive down close candles. I'm considering this little doji here a down close candle, so I'm taking the entire range of that as one bearish breaker. Extend that forward, we hit it there. More specifically, we have a fair value gap. Trade into all that price action, break lower, rally up again, fair value gap, order block, last up close candle prior to the down move, trade into that, you can sell that, breaks lower. Okay, institutional order flow entry drill, we have this fair value gap here, trades into it once, gives you another opportunity to go short, then it rips lower, taking out sell side here, taking out sell side here, and taking out sell side underneath this low, and then once more trading into that daily fair value gap. Uses it as support here. We rally up during lunch, take out these equal highs, right? This is like a quadruple top right here. We have a high on this candle, boom, high on this candle, boom, high on this candle, and then high on this candle, all equal. Okay, so there's a lot of buy side resting above this high. Okay, support, rally, we clear all of that. This high matches it as well. Okay, so retail is seeing this as really strong resistance. Okay, we take all of that out, trade into this volume imbalance, break lower, and completely get below this fair value gap here, repricing to the opening range gap low. And that is the entirety of this morning session. I didn't take any trades today. I am done for the week. I made all the money I need to make yesterday after that CPI report, and I did break that down in the Discord. So that's all I got. I will do another let me see, what's Thursday? Yeah, so I will do a price action review tomorrow and Friday. I don't know which one of those I'm gonna put in the Discord, but you two will get at least one of those. I don't know if it's gonna be Thursday, Friday, but it'll be posted on their respective days. So that's all I got. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one.